Hey, Andrea Grant here at the house. The top of your spruce trees, the leader and the top have been trimmed back. That's the wrong thing to do. Look at any YouTube videos, they'll explain never to do that to a spruce tree because it'll start growing all weird. Alright, this tree also has a growth buds only on the very outer part of the limb. So when you trim this back, you're supposed to trim it back like once every 1 or 2 years because the growth buds are only on the outside of the limb. If you trim too far back, they won't regrow. So anyway, that maintenance these could definitely use some fertilization too. These aren't looking that great. Beech tree looks somewhat healthy. Tree hydrangea has to be cut way back. Okay, that's what you're supposed to do with a tree hydrangea every early spring before the leaves come out. It's a paniculata hydrangea, so it blooms on new wood. Macrophylla hydrangeas are all these guys around your property. Most of these, the other landscaper trimmed these back when they shouldn't have. You're not going to get many blooms this year on all your hydrangeas because of that. You're supposed to trim those before August 1st, or very, very carefully trim those in the spring in such a way you don't cut off most of the buds. You're going to end up losing most of the flowers. The flowers set up on last year's wood. So they set up after August 1st of the previous year, and they bloom the following year. So that's why a lot of landscapers don't do that the right way, then you have issues with that. When you get the snow removal, make sure you keep the snow off this Japanese maple because it will split right in half in a heavy snow. So it's something that should be taken into account. All these inkberry hollies, it's like the builder's holly. They're super cheap. That's why they like to buy them. They look fine when you first put them in. Give it 2 years, they're going to look really, really bad. They're going to look very leggy. The bottom 2 feet of the bush won't have any won't have any leaves, and you'll just have a kind of a fro at the top. So at some point, you should replace all these with American boxwood. They'll look much, much better. All right. Grasses have to be cut down now. Southern magnolias, these guys, not the most hardy plant in this area, but we've tried them in this area. They're a hit or miss. Same thing, the spruce trees are all maintained the improper way, cutting off the main leader of the tree. These all have to be sprayed, plant health care. There's a bunch of pear trees along the street. That's fine, but the pear tree is going to grow much, much bigger over time. That's a bloodgood maple. That's going to grow like 40 feet tall, 30 feet wide. It's going to grow into the pear tree. You should move that in the next couple of years because once they get too big, you won't be able to move them. You just have to cut it down. They're going to grow into each other in probably 5 or 6 years. So this should be transplanted. Okay. Right now you're using sweet peat for a lot of your mulch. And well, this is actually regular mulch. But over there you have sweet peat. And I would actually recommend going regular mulch because the sweet peat will decompose twice as fast. And because it's made out of horse manure, it has way more weeds. So from a maintenance perspective, it's cheaper to use regular mulch. Let's see, what else here? The fastigiate hornbeams, which are the ones on that side of the house that are in a hedge, those should be trimmed every year, okay, to keep their nice tight appearance. So I would suggest doing that. Those are all Marissae viburnums over here, and those will be fine. I'll just keep on trimming them back as part of your maintenance plan, but that should form like a hedge during the growing season so you don't see the next door neighbor. That's it. So I'll follow up with you with a quote for everything that I see. There's also lime deposits coming out of the cement that can be cleaned up with muriatic acid. So that'll make the stonework look much better along the house. You're going to see along the side of the driveway, you see it's all been scalped with the weed whacker. If you cut into the crown of the grass, it'll kill. This will all be crabgrass this year along the edge of the Belgian block because it heats up. And unfortunately, the guy who weed whacked here cut it way too low. The other possibility is if I take a shovel and see how much topsoil you actually have there. If you only have like 1 inch or 2 inches of topsoil, it's always going to burn out every summer. One way you could fix this is you could put more topsoil and have the topsoil of the grass finish at the level of the Belgian block. because a lot of times, again, there's a cement layer right underneath there, and it heats up and then burns out. So that's something aesthetically that you might consider improving over time. So we'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.